Hello, hello, hello. Hi there. It is Kat Ramirez. I am CEO and founder of Advertise and Hashtag Social Buzz. Thank you for joining me today. Yay. I'm not feeling so good today, so I hope I stay chipper and I can move this along. So anyways, last week I was out. I had a lot of commitments and to prepare for a wedding that I went to last weekend, which was interesting because we got 25% lockdown here in Wisconsin because our numbers for COVID keeps growing and growing and growing. So it's craziness here. Anywho, I'm sorry, I'm getting all my notes together here. Just wanted to talk today about messaging. So this conversation has come up a couple of times when we're onboarding new clients. And I feel like this is a great time to really refresh and talk about messaging. And before I get into the conversation, I want to thank you for watching and tuning in. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up or drop me a comment down below. Who you are, where you're watching from, and if this is a replay, just hit and comment replay. But still tell me where you're watching from because I would love to know. So we do social media management for a lot of companies, big and small. And part of the process of doing social media management for companies is understanding and defining their voice and making sure that we can message that just like they would. And part of understanding and defining someone's voice is understanding their messaging and what it is that they want their future audience to know. So we go through a series of meetings to define this and understand it. And it never surprises me that there are some companies that really don't know what their message is. And it's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. So the thing I want to share with you is if you're in that situation, if you're having a hard time, if you saw my notes, I put in there, do you know what your message is? Are you putting your message out there? What's preventing you from putting messages out and inviting people to connect with you or to reach out to you, to do business with you and what have you? And is a little bit of that you're not understanding or not clear on what your message is or what it should be or how to message or who to message to, or you feel like you're all over the place, or you could be the complete opposite of that and you feel like, my audience does not want to hear that, because I do hear that a lot as well, which, you're your biggest objection in that behalf is you do not want to be your biggest objection because your audience does want to hear from you. I promise you, they're not going to get sick of you, but you got to nail your message. And I put down some notes that can help you in regards to this. If you do, or if you are challenged by this, if this is you and what I'm saying, you're like, yeah, that's me, Kat. Oh my God. Because it is so important to nail your message. And there's a couple of reasons why it's important to nail your message, okay? First and foremost, if you want to grow your business, you've got to nail down what your message is, and what you want to say to future customers, potential buyers, and prospects. Sometimes you only get one shot, one chance, and that's it. And if you blow that one chance, that one shot, there's no coming back from that. That's it. You're done. And so there's a couple reasons why having the right message and knowing what your message is so, so, so important to you and your business and your company and the company you represent or whomever else. Okay. So one reason is Sometimes you just get one shot. Okay, that's it. I apologize. The dogs are here, and I apologize ahead of time. The second thing, that reason why you want to nail down your messaging is if someone doesn't get what you do. If you're talking to someone, they don't get what you do, okay? And you make the assumption that they do, like you're telling your story, and let's say that you're at a party and you're talking to 10 people and you just work that whole room and nobody got what you do. Nobody. Then you've wasted that whole opportunity to capture, one, maybe two clients, possibly, So that's the importance of knowing your message and really nailing it and understanding how to create your message and how to tell your message. And I think the biggest thing that I hear from business owners or entrepreneurs or what have you is a lot of times they're so involved or so engrossed in their messaging that they forget what their message is because they got it in the beginning and then they forgot because they are just so involved in the day-to-day. So that's one big problem that a lot of entrepreneurs or small business owners or CEOs conflict with. That's a problem they have. And it's hard for them to train and coach the people under them because of that, because they are so engrossed and they're lost in their messaging. So they make a lot of assumptions that people should know this, people should be aware of this and what have you. And that's should not be the case. Another thing that happens a lot is they have convoluted their message in so much because they have the need or feel like they have to say so much that you get lost in your message and you now lose the whole purpose of your messaging and your whole positioning statement. It's just gone. It's diluted. And it's because you have this need to just add a lot of fluff to it. So that's another problem that entrepreneurs or business owners have in regards to messaging. So I want to talk to you quickly on how do you create a message, and then some steps on working on creating your message so that you feel confident about it. And when you're out or when you're talking or you're messaging or emailing or prospecting, whatever it is that you're doing for your lead generation, that you nail down your message so that it's so succinct that the person receiving it gets it. And they're either A, excited to get more information, or B, just want to hear about more information. Give me more information, okay? That's the kind of reaction you want when you nail your messaging down, okay? And this is just breaking it down to the nuts and bolts of, who you are and who you're trying to serve, and then the problem that you solve. And then do you have any proof? Do you have anything so that I can be convinced to have a deeper conversation with you? So the first thing you want to do for sure is you want to identify is who's your ideal target audience? Who is that person? Who do you want your message to be targeted to? Who is the consumer that is going to use your products, goods, or services? So who is that? Identify who that is. And so I put in my examples, I put, if it's a small business owner, then say it's hey, I work with small business owners. If it's tech companies, say, hey, I work with tech companies. If it is HR, or if it's a recruiting company, you should be able to nail exactly who your target audience is. So whoever that is, you should say candidly who that is and point them out. So if your company, if your solution, if your products, good, or services works perfectly with small businesses, then say, hey, my product is targeted to small businesses, and if it leans toward, security, home improvement, whatever, then add that to the mix. But you want to make sure that in your positioning statement, you identify exactly who your audience is and you say it. You tell the person that you're talking to who your target audience is. This is one of the key elements of really coming up with a great positioning statement and knowing what your message is when you start messaging, okay? The other thing you want to make very, very clear and understand is, what is the problem that you solve? So what problem are you solving? And you have to spell it out. What is the problem you're solving? Because we all have products, goods, or services, and all of our products, goods, or services is solving some kind of problem. And so make this easy for me and make it easy for your future customers, and just point out what is the problem you are solving. That way people can identify with it. So first, you're pointing out your audience and you're saying exactly who is your target audience. And then second, you're pinpointing the problem that you are solving. Your product, good, or services is solving this problem. This is what you do to relieve this problem. This is how you solve this problem. So the problem, what is the problem you are solving? So make sure that it is loud and clear, and you make it very candid. And then, so I just nailed it down to make it really, really simple. And I just pointed out, again, the final thing that you want in your positioning statement is, do you have proof? Is there any proof of performance? Do you have any case studies? Do you have any testimonials? Do you have any recommendations? Do you have anything to justify that your product, goods, or services is one of the best? You know, so case studies, testimonials, recommendation, anything like that helps in delivering this positioning statement. It really does set you apart and positions you so that the person that is receiving this information is going, I hopefully has the wow factor, and they want to get more information, or they want to hear more from you, you know, and that's what you want. You want to pique some interest. You want to pique curiosity. That's what you want. So when you think about your positioning statement and you think about the 3 points that I just pointed out, and this is really basic, and this is the easiest way to nail your positioning statement, is so that you can start messaging this, and it's succinct and you're consistent and people get what you do. The worst thing I am not a fan of is when I talk to someone, or when they're messaging me and they're telling me, you know, that they do this and this and this and this, and then they're talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and then at the end I'm like, so what do you do? Because they lost me. They just gave me a lot of words or dialogue, and they didn't really say much. They just said a lot of words. And so that's not what you want. That's not the position you want to be in. You want to make sure that your message is clear and it is a very good positioning statement, and you define all the things I just told you: who you are, problem that you're solving, and then do you have any proof of your validity to your product, good, or service? Okay. So when you're coming up with this positioning statement, I want you to think about a few things that you want to add to the mix. And some of the things I want you to think about is, A, is it true? Because you want to be on it. It has to be true. You have to be transparent and make sure that you build credibility. So A, is it true? Is it relevant? Is it relevant to the audience you're talking to? Is it relevant to the person that you want to receive this information? Is it relevant? And then, is it motivating? Is the information that in your positioning statement motivating enough for me to want to create an actionable item, like meet with you or talk to you or want to get more information? So is it motivating? What are you giving me that's motivating enough to want more information? And then is it enticing enough to create some kind of call to action? So when you use case studies, those are defining moments that you can separate yourself from other people. And especially if your case studies are very much relevant and positioned so that you make it defining, and that this is your case study. This is not a general case study. This is yours, and this is the results of what your product, good, or services has done. So think about those things when you're thinking about your positioning statement, because those are the things that really are going to play into separating yourself and making your product, good, or service, or you stand out. So think about that. And customer service could be that if you have, a number one customer service and it's top of the line, that is a defining positioning statement, because there's not a lot of business out there that can hang their hat on having really, really, really good customer service. So at the end of the day, what you want to do, the reality is you want to make it easy for your customers to do business with you. That's what you want. You want to make it very, very easy for them to want to work with you and do business with you. So when you do things like, and these are some of my pet peeves when I meet new businesses or I'm chatting with them. So when you do things like, hey, go look at my website, or, find out more information on my website. I personally would rather someone send me the information and put it in my hands, so that you make it easy for me to make a decision. You make it easy for anyone to make a decision or anyone to do something. So keep that in mind, and make sure that's something you're doing, is you're making it easy for someone to do business with you. At the end of the day, that's probably what prevents a lot of businesses from doing business, is you don't make it easy for someone to do business with you. And making it easy for someone to do business with you is putting very relevant positioning information in front of them. So giving them proof that your product, good, or services works. Showing them case studies that your product, goods, or services does work. Talking about the problem that your product, good, or services solves, so that they understand it and can recognize or relate to it, because that's what you want. You want people who have the problem that you're solving to relate to what you're talking about, so that it's easy for them to make a decision. They're like, oh, that's me. That's me. Oh, that's me. That's what you want. You want that kind of engagement, and that they want to reach out to you because they want to learn more. People are intrigued and they're inclined to want to learn more information. So you have to make sure in your messaging that you're putting enough information out there that they are wanting more information from you, or they want to learn more about your product, good, or service. So again, you have to ultimately, at the end of the day, make it easy for your customers to do business with you. That will make you more sales, and it will get more people interested and inquire about your goods, products, goods, or services. And so that's pretty much the nutshell of the importance of a great message, and how you define what your message is and what is your positioning statement, and how do you create it, and how do you piece it together so that it makes sense. And you're not just babbling, or you're not just putting information out there just to put information out there because you're like, I don't know what to put out there. I don't know what sets me apart. I don't know what makes my business any different than anybody else, because everybody has something that separates them from the competition. It's your job to really just dig deep and figure out, what is that? What makes you different? Why would someone want to do business with you? And a lot of times it's timing for some businesses, because they have a bad experience with another business, or customer service. As I said, customer service is key. If you can win on customer service, hands down, people will leave another company for good customer service, because customer service is really, really hard to find. So keep your eye open for that, because that is something that is not overused. And if you can hang your hat on that, that is something to hang your hat on. Okay, if you have any other questions after you've watched this, or let's say you thought about this later, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help you out or answer any questions that you might have. just connect with me on any of the social media platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, just about all of them. And just reach out to me and message me. I am happy to help out any way that I can. And again, I'm Kat Ramirez, CEO and founder of Advertise and #SocialBuzz. We help businesses stand out and grow on social media. And our discussion today was about messaging, the importance of knowing what your message is, being clear and concise, and being very direct with it, and how to create your positioning statement so that you can message your message on social media. That way you have a good foundation. So thank you, Stephen, for watching. I appreciate it. Stephen's from Miami. I bet it's nice and warm and toasty there. Kimberly, thank you for watching in Minnesota. I appreciate it. And if you, again, have any other questions, just reach out to me. Otherwise, if you caught this now, just rewind it and catch it from the beginning so that you know how to create your own positioning statement and you have a very good and clear message. And until next time, I hope you're having a great day and be safe, and you got this. I will talk to you soon, and hope you have a great day.